we call it Abhidhamma Ramana. Aramana, sense object of very great intensity, Chakshudvara, appearing in the eyeball. So, at first we have Govinda tree. Then that sense object strikes the eye. So when it strikes the eye, it strikes the Chakshudvara, the eye sensitive matter. So at that time, both the sense object and that Chakshudvara and this Atita Govinda, the past Govinda Chaita, they arrive together. After one conscious moment, that is equal to 3 short moments, the sense object becomes distinct at the eyeball. So in order to cognize this sense object, the Govinda state must be cut off. So it vibrates 2 times. We call it Govinda Chalana, vibrating like continuum. Govindu Pachida, arrested Govinda. So the 2, after that, the Govinda state is cut off. Then the cognitive process begins from here. It is always Pancha Dvara Vachana, the Pancha Dvara Vachana, that apprehends the sense object. Then Chakku Vijnana, eye consciousness, it sees the object. Then Sampadeshana, the seeing consciousness, receives the sense object. Sampirana investigated whether it is good or bad. Then what Samana, that is actually Mano Dvara Vachana, decides whether the sense object is good or bad. According to that decision, one of the 29 Kama Jhana, there are 55 Kama Jhana, out of them 29 we call Kama Jhana. So one of the Kama Jhana arises 7 times and joins the base of the sense object. And then do the Dhalamana, registering consciousness, they continue to enjoy the base of the sense object. And at the end of the second Dhalamana, the sense object and the Chakshudvara, the 2, their lifespan is completed and they dissolve together with the second Dhalamana Chaita. And after that, you have life continuum. Now, on page 144, at the middle, number 2, the occurrence of Mahanta Ramana Viti. So this is Ati Mahanta, of very great intensity. Here is Mahanta Ramana, sense object of very great intensity. When a visible object of very great intensity strikes the eyeball, 2 Mahanta Ramana Viti may arise. The cognitive series may be represented as follows. Now, the reason you have 2 cognitive series in this case is that Mahanta Ramana, the sense object of very great intensity, after it strikes the eyeball. When it strikes the eyeball, we say it arises in the eyeball. So, to develop itself, to become distinct, it may take 2 conscious moments or 3 conscious moments. So if the intensity is strong, it becomes distinct in 2 conscious moments. If the sense object is weaker, then it may take 3 conscious moments. So in a deep to make the sense object distinct. In this case, you need two conscious moments. So that means two Abhidhamma will pass by. Two Bhuvinga Chitta will pass by from the arising moment to the moment the sense object becomes distinct. So we have two things. Instead of one past Bhuvinga, you get two past Bhuvinga. Then we say the sense object becomes distinct at the arising moment of Bhuvinga Chalana. Just like here, at the arising moment of Bhuvinga Chalana, the sense object becomes distinct. So after that, the process, just like here. So you have Bhuvinga Chalana, Upanchida, vibrating like continuous and arrested like continuous. And after that, Pancha, Varavajana, Chakku, Vijnana, Sampadeshana, Samsirana, Vakkhavana, will arise just like here. And then you have the seven jhana, just like here. But when you come to the seven jhana, you don't have two conscious moments for the arising of two Tadalana. You have only one conscious moment left, because remember you have two keys. So one conscious moment is added here in between the two. So up to here you have already 16 conscious moments from the arising to the jhana. You have already 16 conscious moments, only one conscious moment left. So in this case, two Tadalana arise. This resisting consciousness is always arise two times. If it does not have the time to arise twice, it will not arise at all. So in this case, you don't get Tadalana. We get Tadalana only in Abhidhamma, when the sense object is very distinct. So in this case, no Tadalana. So you have to add one Bhuvinga to complete the sensing conscious moment. So we say, when that Bhuvinga Chitta is off, the sense object and the Chakku also is off. So after that you have only Bhuvinga Chitta. So you can read below the explanation. In the first Mandaramana retreat, the sense object and the Chakkumasada, the idol, arise, Upada, together, at the arising instant of the first Akita Bhuvinga. The sense object and the sense soul, they always arise at the arising instant of the first Akita Bhuvinga. Now the sense object takes two conscious moments. So you get two TT, Akita Bhuvinga, past Bhuvinga, for its full development. And it becomes distinct as the mind knows as the arising instant of Bhuvinga Chalana. Just like here, when Bhuvinga Chalana arises, the sense object becomes distinct. Or you just take the reverse. Because the sense object becomes distinct then the light continuum vibrates to it and gets cut off. Bhuvinga Chalana, when you Panchida. So after it's cut off, you go on with the cognitive process. Then the light continuum for Bhuvinga vibrates for two conscious moments, that is Nada, means Bhuvinga Chalana and Bhuvinga Panchida, and becomes arrested or cut off at the dissolving instant of Bhuvinga Panchida. Then cognitive series proceeds as follows. So these things mean the same thing. Pancha, Varavajana, advancing consciousness, it advances the mental state towards the sense object. Then Chakku Vijnana, eye consciousness, sees the object, makes the sense impression. Then Sampadeshana, receiving consciousness, receives object together with the sense impression. Then followed by Sanvilana, investigating consciousness, it investigates the object, whether it is good or bad. Then Uttamana, determining consciousness, determines whether the object is good or bad. Then Jnana involves the consciousness, one of the 29 Kama Jnana Chakras, arise 7-5, enjoying the taste of the sense object. Soba, 16 conscious moments have elapsed since the genesis. Genesis means the arising of the sense object of the mind law. And only one conscious moment is left before the object is solved. So through the Dharamana Cheta, that is the registering consciousness can no longer arise. So the Dharamana does not arise at all. So one Govinda Cheta arises instead, and the sense object and the Chakramasada, which have arisen together, dissolve together as the dissolving instant of the Govinda Cheta. So after that, you have the light continuum flowing as never. Now, we go back to page 144. The sense object is the I know dissolved as the dissolving instant of the foot, Govinda, as light continuum flows on as usual after that. So, you understand now? Okay? So we go back to page 146 and try to see the completed series again. So now we go to number 2. We finish number 1. Now in number 2, the sense object is weaker. So it takes one more conscious moment to become distinct. So that means altogether it takes 5 conscious moments to become distinct. So you get 5 D, Adhika, Govinda. So after that you write the number Na, Cha, Pa, Cha, Sam, Na, 3 Uttamana, and then 3 Govinda. Because you increase 1 key, you reduce 1 Govinda here. So that means the sense object will dissolve at the third Govinda. Now if you go down, the sense object becomes weaker and weaker. So you have to increase Adhika Govinda 1 by 1. You increase Adhika Govinda 1 by 1. If you increase 1 Adhika Govinda, you have to cut off 1 Chaya from the way. So you reduce the Govinda. So in number 5, you have only 3 Uttamana. So that means at the third Uttamana, the sense object will dissolve. And in number 5, you have to cut off 1 more Chaya, so you have only 2 Uttamana. So you should not cut another one, because when Uttamana arises in place of Jnana, it must arise at least 2 times. That is the law. So you cannot reduce anymore. Now all these 6 altogether, we have how many? 6 cognitive stages. Actually, that's number 5, 6, 5, 6, 2, 5, 6. So all these 6 cognitive stages, they end or terminate with Uttamana. Now this one, it terminates with the Dharamana. It terminates with the Dharamana. And here we say they terminate with Uttamana. So we don't count Govinda among the cognitive stages. Govinda Cheta do not belong to the cognitive stages. So among the cognitive stages, Uttamana is the last Cheta here. So we say they terminate with Uttamana. Now if you look at the 2 cognitive stages on page 144, on 144, we say those two cognitive series, they terminate with jhana. You can see, the number one, you get 7 jhana and 1 govinda. But we don't count govinda as the cognitive taker. So you have to count only jhana. So it terminates with jhana. Now, when it terminates with the dharamana, you call them the dharamana vara. So, for the two on page 144, we shall call them jhana vara viti. So you get that word on page 146, that small paragraph on page 146. If you read that, thus there are two mahanta ramana viti which end or terminate with jhana chaita. They are known as jhana vara viti. Now again, so where do we have the sixth? Page 148, the second paragraph there, the second paragraph, the last sentence of that paragraph. Thus, at the sixth viti, the cognitive series terminates after 2 Vatthapana changes. We can read that. The number of Vatthapana changes cannot be reduced further, as there must be at least 2 Vatthapana changes in functioning the place of jhana. So there are 6 Preta Ramana viti which all end with Vatthapana. So they are known as Vatthapana vara viti. Vatthapana vara is the cognitive series that terminates with Vatthapana. So these 6 is put into one group. We call it Preta Ramana viti. Then we can go to number 4 on page 148. The occurrence of a deep Preta Ramana viti. So, what do you understand by a deep Preta? Very slight intensity. Slight intensity, very slight intensity. Now, if you look at the viti at the bottom of page 148, how many G we have here? In the page 147, in number 6, on page 97, we have 9 Atita Govinda. If you count the Atita Govinda, you have 9 there. So, on page 148, you have to put in 10 Atita Govinda because the sense of there is weaker. Weaker than that. So, you have 10 Atita Govinda, and then you have Nana. Nana means Govinda Chalana, Govinda Chalana. Now, vibrating like continuous 2 times. And it is not cut off, just vibrating, not cut off. Because the sense object is very weak. It cannot cut the Govinda string, so it can just vibrate 2 times. So after that, since Govinda string is not cut off, viti chaita cannot arise. No cognitive series arise. So you have only Govinda after that. So you have only Govinda after that. So that means, since no cognitive series arise, you don't know the sense object at all. We don't know the sense object at all. But we just to complete the writing of the cognitive series, we again try 6 cognitive series here. So in number 1, you have 10 Atita Govinda, 2 Govinda Chalana, and 5 Govinda. So in the next cognitive series, you increase 1 T in front, and you cut off 1 Govinda at the rear. So as you go down, when you come Paticca Bhuvinga. So you can put in only two Bhuvinga Pachalana, the complete semi conscious moment. So you cannot cut anymore. So we stop there. So this we call this Moga Vara Viti. What do we have that word? So on page 149, the second paragraph there, the object is not known at all, as no vititators arise, because these vitis are deprived of vititators. Deprived of vititators, they do not contain vititators. They are known as Moga Vara Vitis, two types of vititators. So we are discussing the cognitive series within at the high level. Remember, in each the five of the five roads, the sense object can present itself in four ways. Ati Mahanta, Preta, Ati Preta. They can represent in four ways. So, for Ati Mahanta, we have only one cognitive series. Only one cognitive series. And for Mahanta, how many we have? On page 144, we have two cognitive series. And for Preta Ramana, on page 146, we have six cognitive series. And for Ati Preta, on page 148, 149, we again have six cognitive series. So how many do we have in total? So we make the calculation on page 150. One Kada Lamana Wala Viti or Ati Mahanta Lamana. Two Javana Wala Viti or Mahanta Lamana. Six Vattavana Wala Viti or Preta Lamana. Six Moga Wala Viti or Ati Preta Lamana. So altogether there are 15 Viti. That is for the eye. You will have the same 50 Viti for the ear door, the nose door, the tongue door, and the body door. So for this five doors, how many Viti would you have in total? 15 to 5, that means 75 Viti. Now, this is for the eye door. Now, what will happen if the sound strikes the ear door? So, you should write the same thing. If the sound is of great intensity, then you will have the same like this. So, instead of the invisible object striking the idol, you say the sound of great intensity strikes the ear door. So, the same thing, you will strike here, and after one conscious moment, the sound becomes distinct. So, the Bhuvinga string will vibrate 2 times. Bhuvinga Chalana, we do Bhajita and get cut off, arrested, cut off. And after that, you begin with Bhanja Dwara Vajana. And then instead of Chakku Vijnana, what did you say? Sota Vijnana. Just like here. So for the ear door, we begin with Bhanja Dwara Vajana. Instead of Chakku Vijnana, you put in Sota Vijnana. And after that, you continue with Sampaditana, Sandhina, Vattana, just like here. So you just change Chakku Vijnana into Sota Vijnana. The rest is the same thing. For other doors, same thing. For the nose door, it would be smell of great intensity arriving here. After one conscious moment, it becomes distinct, and you have the they go like this. Now we have the simile of a mango fruit. The simile is an example or illustration of the simile. So, I will just describe this. It's just an easy one. A man, he went out from his house and he walked through a long journey. Now at noon, he became very tired. And he saw a mango tree. And it's shady. So he rested under the mango tree. Now, at that time, it had a good breeze. He was tired. So he became drowsy. And he lied on the root of the mango tree and he fell asleep. Now when he fell asleep, only Goenka teacher was arrived. So we are comparing this man to this cognitive process. So we say when the man is asleep, it is similar to the Goenka tree arising here. Now while he was asleep, one mango, so ripe mango, fell down and it struck the ground. Boom! Near his head. So he woke up because of the sound. So as he woke up, he tried to raise his head, and then he opened his eyes and tried to see what caused the sound. Then he saw the mango. So what would he do? He tried to pick it up and he looked at it, whether it's good or bad. And then if it is good, he decides, oh, it is good to eat. Since it's very hungry, he will eat. Now, we say when the man is asleep, it is similar to Goenka tree arising. When the mango fruit strikes the ground, boom! So at that time, the sense object strikes the eye door. And after striking it, it becomes distinct. So he wakes up because of the sound. He wakes up, and when he wakes up, he tries to raise his head. So it's similar to the blue Goenka teacher vibrating. So shaking it. So he opens his eyes. That means his sleeping time terminates at that time when he opens his eyes. So no more sleeping. So the same thing after the second point, we call Vingupachena, the life continuum is cut off safely. So after that we try to look what is the object, the sense object. The same thing, the Pancha Dwara Vachana. It apprehends the sense object, pays attention to the sense object, to know what is that sense object. Just like at night, somebody knocks at your door. So you ask, who is that? So the same thing, Panja, Dwara Vajana is trying to inquire. What is the sense object? Now he saw the right mango fruit. So it is similar to eye consciousness, seeing the sense object. Then he picks up the mango, and it is similar to Sampadechana, receiving the sense object. Now after you pick the mango, you are very hungry, what would you do? Would you eat it immediately? No, you will not eat. You have to see whether there is some insect or some worm, or whether it's rotten or good. So, Sankirana, investigate whether the sense object is good or bad. Now after looking at it carefully, you say, oh, it's good to eat, you decide. So the same thing would come and decide. The sense object is good. So now what would you do? You eat it. You eat it very deliciously. Since you are very hungry, you make a big bite. So after 7 bites, the whole mango, one mango is finished. So the same thing here, you have 7 jhana enjoying the taste of the sense object. Now, after 7 bites, only the seed is left, you throw it away. the Jews among your sheep. So what did you do? So with your tongue you fight for them, and then you get over the flavor, you swallow it. So there is the Dharamana. The Dharamana, following the Javana, trying to enjoy the taste of the sense object. So after that, eating is finished, so you lie down to sleep again. So the same thing after that, you get going. So this is the comparison. Now, at the bottom of page 151, Pancha Dwara Vichika. Pancha Dwara means the five doors. Vichika means cognitive consciousness. How many chikas arise in those five doors? We say there are 75 vichika, 75 cognitive series arise. How many chikas take part in those five door cognitive series? So here, if we examine the Pancha Dwara Vichika, we shall notice that 7 types of consciousness participate in the vichika. The 7 types of consciousness are, so you can just start from here. Now again, when you count the cognitive consciousness, don't count Avinga Chita. Avinga Chita, they do not participate in the cognitive process. So you begin with the Pancha Dwara Vajana and Chakku Vijnana, Sampadejana, Santirana, Vatthapana, Javana, Tadalamana. So we say 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times. How many chikas? The number of chikas. So you again count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So we continue on page 152. The number of chikas that participate in the longest vichika. Now we know this is the Mahanta Ratana vichika is the longest vichika. So there are 11 chikas. What are they? 1 Pancha Dwara Vajana, 1 Pancha Vijnana, so you count that to get totally 14. Now, the next paragraph, the total number of chikas that can participate in the Pancha Dwara vichika or Pancha Dwara Vajana vichika, you have only one. Only one Pancha Dwara Vajana vichika. So this Pancha Dwara Vajana vichika, it appears in all the 5 sense doors. And then for Pancha Vijnana Chika, we put 10. So actually, we are doing this. So these are actually, we have the 5 sense doors, and the chikas that arise in each door amount to 46 in this. Now, we are trying to count all the chikas that arise in all the 5 doors. So we say Pancha Dwara Vajana, and 2 eye consciousness arise in the eye door. 2 ear consciousness arise in the ear door. 2 nose consciousness in the nose door. 2 tongue consciousness in the tongue door. 2 body consciousness in the body door. So if you call this Pancha Dwara, 5 doors, how many chikas you have? 10. You get 10, so you put in 10 here. So actually we are counting for the 5 doors, Pancha Dwara. 5 doors we have to take for 10 years. Then for Sampadejana, you have 2 just like here. And for Santirana, you have 3. Since there are 3 Santirana chikas, you put 3. And then for Vatthapana, it is Mano Dwara Vajana, only 1. This Vatthapana is performed by Mano Dwara Vajana, just 1. And for the Kama Javana, how many you have to put? You have to put in 29 altogether. So for the Dharamana, so since you have about only the 8 Mahavipaka. So it amounts to how many? How many? This is for each door we get 46. For each door means only for, say, for the high door we got only 2 eye consciousness. But now we also got the 2 ear consciousness, 2 nose consciousness, 2 jiva, tongue consciousness, 2 body consciousness. You have to get 8. So you get 54. So here you can see the number add up to 54. That means the 54 karma vajra changes. They take birth in these 5 cognitive series. So only the 54 karma vajra changes actually give us. Now, it's okay, just your heading is you get 54. It's alright? So let's go to the page and now let's see whether you can answer the question here. Now what is the object and the what to taken by a meditation? And we can consider this long as cognitive series. Because in the other short cognitive series, they are these stages that participated. They are the same stages, so you don't need to pay attention to that. If you know all the changes that arise in this, the longest one, and you know the changes. Now, of these cognitive consciousness, what is the object that they take? Can you answer what is the object that they take? For this idol, the cognitive series for great intensity. So we say if this four object it arises here and it becomes distinct here. And then this four object is all here. So mentally in this period the with four object will remain distinct. It arises here, it becomes distinct here, and it is all here. So during this time, the sense object must be present. All these three pictures, we take that present visible object. So, how do you know what is meant by this, the present visible object? When you say, oh, I'm seeing Dr. Monk, so that is my present sense object. So according to Abhidhamma, that is not correct. That is not correct. That present sense object must be present in your I know. Must be present in the I know. Just like here, it arises here, becomes distinct here. Here it is all here. So all these data take that sense object that appears in the I know. We call it the all change the present visible object. The same thing if you have the ear door cognitive series, all the meditation will take that present sound. And the Dana Dwara reading taker, they will take the present smell, the present taste, the present sound. So we say in this part of only present sense, a present object can appear. They can take only the present object. Is that alright? Now, this taker, each taker, they have to have a sense object. And also a physical base to depend on. So what would be the physical base that they depend on? Actually, in the Bhagavad chapter, we already said about this. We say the eye one, they depend on the Tattva, the eye base. So the Vijnana depends on the eye base. The ear base, the eye base, same thing, they depend on that. But again here, it becomes particular. Since many eye bases are present at any moment, there are many eye bases, like the Tattva, They are produced by the karma every short instant. And they can remain there for 49 short instants. So many of them are present. Which one? Which one? So again, you can use your common sense. You can use with your common sense, you can get the answer. We say the visible object strikes the high grade. That is the eye door. The eye door is represented by Chakku Prasada. Chakku Prasada really represents the eye door. The sense object appears and that Chakku Prasada. Then Chakku Prasada and the sense object arise together, you say. They arise together and they dissolve together. That means they have the same lifespan. They have the same lifespan. So, since the sense object strikes that idol, we call Chakku Prasada, and it appears in that Chakku Prasada, it must depend on the Chakku Prasada for its arising. So the eye wave, the Chakku Prasada, is that one, that visible object strikes. And they come together, it appears in that Chakku Prasada and they dissolve together. So, the Chakku Prasada, they have the same lifespan as the sense object. So, we get that the answer. So, on page 53, I think we begin with the second line. For illustration, all the Chakku Dwara Vichiteka of Abhidhamma. So we are referring to this completed series. Grasp the visible object that appears at the eyeball at the arising instant of Vinga Chalana and dissolves at the dissolving instant of the second, the Lamana Vara. So, the visible object that becomes distinct at this point and then dissolves at this point. So they all grasp or they take the sense object. Now, the next one, the two Chakku Vijnana Chetas are proved by Chakku Vachu, that is Chakku Prasada, which has arisen together with the visible object at the arising instant of the Atita Bhavika. This Vachu is a visible base, which has the same lifespan as the visible object. It's called Machima Yuta Vachu. Machima means middle, or the normal, Machima, the normal. Ayum means lifespan. So that means they have the same lifespan. This Chakku Vijnana, eye consciousness, will depend on that eye wave, that has the same lifespan as the sense object. So it is the eye wave that the sense object strikes and becomes distinct. Now we say, those Vachu which have arisen earlier than the visible object, that means those Vachu that arise earlier than the sense object, before the sense object strikes the eye. So since they arise earlier, they will dissolve earlier than the sense object. They will dissolve earlier than the sense object itself. So we call that Manda Yuga Vachu. Manda means small or short. That means they have shorter lifespan than the sense object. So this eye consciousness do not depend on that Vachu. Only on that Machima Yuga Vachu, it has the same lifespan. Now, also you can divide sense object is here. There are also the eye basis Chakku Vachu later than the sense object. They will dissolve later than the sense object. Remember, they have all of them have the lifespan of 70 conscious moment. All of them have the lifespan 70 conscious moment. If they arise later, they will dissolve later. So if they dissolve later than the sense object, it appears they have longer lifespan than sense object. And the eye consciousness will not depend on this. So it depends only on that Manchimajika. Now, the third paragraph is quite interesting again. All the remaining Panchadvara Vichittas are Mano Vijnana Chaita. Mano Vijnana, remember, when we divide or classify all the Chaitas into 6 classes according to law, we say eye consciousness, ear consciousness, tongue, body consciousness, mind consciousness. So that mind consciousness, Mano Vijnana, they include all the of 89 to the subject 10 or Dvipancha Vijnana 79. So all the remaining, the Pancha Dvaravachana and Samrejana, Samjirana, Vodka, Javana and Amana, they belong to Mano Vijnana, the mind consciousness. They all depend on Haryavata on their right. Is that correct? We have said the mechanical, the eye consciousness depends on the eye base, those ear consciousness on the ear base, and except the 10 Dvipancha Vijnana, all the 39, they depend on the pathway, Haryavata. Alright? Now, the question is, which Haryavata would they depend on? So again here we have millions of Haryavata actually in our heart, in the blood of our heart. Many Haryavata being produced by the Karma. The Karma produced in every short instant. So all these are arising. So these data, they can choose which one to depend on. But they always depend on Haryavata, which has lasted for one conscious moment. They don't depend on the Haryavata that has just arrived. Because for the physical entity, when they first arrive, they are not fully grown. They are not very strong. So you should allow one conscious moment for them to become strong and grow up. So they depend on that strong Haryavata. So on the last paragraph 3, I describe about it. All the remaining Panchadvara Vichittas are Mano Vijnana Chaita. They are individuals and respectively owned by the Haryavata, which has arisen along with the preceding Chaita. There is Haryavata which has lasted for one conscious moment. For example, Panchadvara Vachana is owned by the Haryavata, which has arisen with the Bhavika Chalana. So here, if you take Panchadvara Vachana, which Haryavata will it depend on? So we say it depends on Haryavata, which arises together with Bhavika, with Panchita. So that it has that Haryavata lasted for one conscious moment when the Panchadvara Vachana depends on it. Now the same thing, Sampadechana, which Haryavata. So Sampadechana will depend on Haryavata, which arises together with Chakru Vijnana. So it is also has lasted for one conscious moment. The same thing you go on. Now this Uttavana will depend on Haryavata that arises along with the Santirana. And this Javana Chaita will depend on Haryavata that arises along with we know the reason. So this physical entity, as soon as they arise, they are not very strong. So it needs one conscious moment to make them strong. So when they become strong, so not this consciousness depends on them. So very easy. This pops up very easy. And those of you who recite Abhidhamma, and these are taken into concentration in reciting Abhidhamma, Abhidhamma Pali, and if you have been reciting, no? Well, when we finish the second part, all of you will be reciting Abhidhamma. Because I will teach you Abhidhamma. On chapter 8, we have causal relation. So in that causal relation, very interesting discourses, two discourses, Paticca Samuppada, the law of dependent arising, and Abhidhamma. So, and then you can see, you have to remember this data. They arrive on Abhidhamma that has already lasted for one moment. Okay. Now we finish with the 5 doors, cognitive process. So we go to mind door cognitive city on page 154, Manodwara Viti, Manodwara mind door cognitive city. First we divide into two classes. On the left you have Kama Javana Vada. On the right, we have Appana Javana Vada. So remember here, we have 55 Javana, and they are divided into 29 Kama Javana and 26 Appana Javana. So I show you, these Appana mean Jhana, Mega, Phala. Only when jhana, metta, phala, trina arrive, the appana jhana will also arise, will take part. So in other cases, just enjoying the senses, not trying to recognize the senses, only the kama jhana will arise. So on the left we see kama jhana vara. Vara means the time or the time when kama jhana arises. And on the right, appana jhana, the time or the cases when appana jhana arises. So now for this kama jhana vara, we divide into 4 types of cognitive series. So you can just look on page 155. So those are kama jhana, Manodwara Viti. Manodwara is mind door cognitive series when kama jhana arises. Now number 1, Ati Buddha Ramana Viti. So Ati Buddha is very clear. Aramana means sense object. So this signal very clear. At least Ati Buddha, very clear. So when very clear sense object appears in the mind door. So now we are going to the mind door. So this cognitive series will arise. So we mentioned the cognitive series there. So we say Na Java, 7 Javana, and 2 Tadavana. That's all. That is the mind door cognitive series is shorter than the Panchadwara Viti. They are shorter. Now, you have to consider this again. When sense object appears in the mind door, so the cognitive process should start with avachana. Always with avachana. Now, when the sense object appears in the mind door, which avachana will take part? Manodwara vachana. Manodwara vachana will apprehend the sense object and it observes it and determines whether it was observed. Remember, it performs 2 functions. Apprehend, up, apprehending the sense object. That is taking notice of that sense object. Then, what jhana? It tries to determine whether it's good or bad. Now, according to that determination, jhana will follow. So here we say in the mind you begin with Vattamana, that is Mano, Dvara, Vachana, and then the Javana Chinya arises. So in the Javana, Kama Javana Vara, only Kama Javana Chinya will arise, and then after that, after Javana, Adalamana will arise. So you are getting this. So we have in the case of the mind law, remember, what is the mind law? What represents the mind law? The mind law is the mental law. The Movinga Chitta represents the mind law. Movinga Chitta, the life continuum itself, serves as the mind law. Since the mind law is Movinga Chalana, each Movinga Chalana lasts for only one conscious moment. After one conscious moment, you get another Movinga, and another Movinga. So it goes like that. So if you say, the sense object strikes the door, and it takes one conscious moment to appear, to become distinct, that's the way I think that's what it's all. At that time. So here you don't have to do with the Abhidhamma. No Abhidhamma here. You don't need Abhidhamma here. Because the mind door is very powerful. Remember, all the 6 types of sense objects, including Chitta, Jeta, they arise in the mind door. The Chitta, Jeta, they last just for one conscious moment. So as soon as they strike the mind door, they become distinct. So here you don't need time not to develop the sense object to become distinct. As soon as they strike the mind door, they are distinct, they appear. So if they appear, you start to appear. Since they appear in the door, so you start with. So going back Canada, going to Panchita. So that means if the sense object appears in the mind door, then the light continuum vibrates 2 times and come out. Just like here, going back Canada, going to Panchita. So you get nada. So after coming out nada, in the 5 door, you have Panya Dvaravajana apprehending it. But in this case, the mind door, Mano Dvaravajana apprehending it. So we say nada ma. That ma means Mano Dvaravajana. Apprehending and doing this 2 functions, apprehending and determining whether it's good or bad. So after Nadama, you get Javana 7 times. And it's followed by 2 Dadalamana, just like here, Dadalamana. So finish after Dadalamana finish. So we give the explanation below, you please read. So in the case of the mind law, one of the 6 sense objects, which may be present, past, future, or time-free. So any of these sense objects can appear in the mind door. So must enter the avenue of the mind door. The avenue means the pathway. The pathway of the mind door to initiate the Kama Javana Mano Dvara Viti, to initiate the cognitive series. Now that is for that number 1, cognitive series. When the sense object is of very great intensity, so very great intensity, the light continuum vibrates twice and becomes arrested nada on the appearance of the sense object at the mind door. That means the sense object appears at the mind door and you get 2 vibrations of the Vedachalana, nada and its off. Then Mano Dvara Vachana, ma, adverse or direct, the consciousness leads towards the sense object, observe the object and decide whether it is good or bad. Decision. In accordance with this decision, one of the 29 Dhamma Javana teachers performed the Javana function for 7 conscious moments enjoying the taste of the sense object. Then 2 Dhamma teachers follow suit, enjoying the taste of the sense object further. After that, Govinda teacher sinks into life continuum. So that finished the scripture describing the first cognitive series. Now you can understand it now. Now we go again. You look at the top again. Number 2. We Buddha Ramana Viti. So we Buddha, you have Ati we Buddha very clear. We Buddha means just clear. Clear sense object. So that means the sense object is of very great intensity. Now if you look at the cognitive series, Na Dhamma 7 Javana, same as above. References you don't have the Dharamana in this case. So we say it terminates with Javana. So you call it Javana Vada Viti. For the first one, since it terminates with the Dharamana, you call it the Dharamana Vada. Okay. Now you can read the explanation for that on page 156. Number 2, that is the second paragraph. When the sense object is of very great intensity, that is Vijutta, very intensity. The cognitive series occurs as above, but terminates with Javana Chaita without the Dharamana. This Viti is known as Vibhuta Ramana Viti or Javana Vada Viti. So we get number 2. So go back to page 185 again. Look at number 3. Number 3 is Avibhuta. So Vibhuta is clear. Avibhuta is not clear. So we call it obscure. Obscure. So the obscure sense object. On page 136. If you look at page 136, so near the bottom on page 136, you have B, Visya Pavati and Manodwara. The title there. B is Visya Pavati and Manodwara, presentation of sense object at the mind door. So we say there are 2 ways of presentation. Vibhuta Ramana, clear presentation of sense object. And Avibhuta Ramana, obscure presentation of sense object. So there is Avibhuta. So here, again on page 155, Avibhuta Ramana Viti is obscure presentation of the sense object. So the sense object is not clear in that case. This is not clear. It is obscure. So when the sense object appears in the mind, you get 2 vibrations of Govinda Chalana and Govindu Panchita. The same as above, Nada, and the Govinda speech is Karma. Then you begin with Manodwara Vajana. Manodwara Vajana, apprehend sense object and try to determine whether it's good or bad. But it cannot determine. Since the sense object is of slight intensity, it's not clear, it's obscure, we say, you cannot decide. So you get 2 more Manodwara Vajana. Apprehending and deciding, apprehending and deciding, 3 times. So the same thing as we have 3 Vattapana in the case of Parika Ramana Viti. On page 146, on page 146, that is near the bottom, the occurrence of Parika Ramana Viti, number 3. the occurrence of Preta Ramana Viti. So you look at the first Viti there, we get that 40, Nada Paja Samna, and then Bo. Why do you have three Vattamana? We have just explained. It is Preta Ramana, slight intensity. The sense object is not distinct, not precisely known. So with the first Vattamana, you cannot determine it. So another two Vattamana arise. The same thing here. On page 155, you have three, the Manodvara Vajana. And here, for the Panchadvara Viti, we use the symbol Vattamana, Bo for Manodvara Vajana. In Manodvara Viti, we use the symbol Ma for Manodvara Vajana. So actually they are referring to the same Cheta Manodvara Vajana. To make distinction, so we use the word Ma here. So as you have three bowls there, also you have three Ma. Ma three times. So you cannot decide, so you cannot endure the sense object. So you have the Movinga. So it says to Movinga, which is finished. So then it is terminated with Vattamana, we call it Vattamana Vara Viti. Right? In the name of the number 3, you also have Vattamana Vara Viti. Now go to number 4, Ati Vibuddha Ramana, very obscure. Obscure, very obscure. So that means the sense object is of very slight intensity. So here you have only nana, only vibration of the Movinga string, no cutoff, no cognitive series arise. So you do not know the sense object. So as before, we call it Mogavara Viti, Mogavara Chutai, cognitive process, Chutai. So we have 4 types here. Alright, did you know? So if you know that, you can go to page 157. In the middle, the title is Kama Javana Manodvara Viti Cheta. Now again, we have to make some statistics again. We read, in Manodvara Viti, there are only 3 types of consciousness, namely, Vajana, Javana, and Kadalamana. So you have to look at the longest Viti on page 155. On page 155, you look at number 1, Viti, that is the longest. Now, how many types of Viti Chetas are there? Naga, you don't count it, it is Movinga Cheta. So you count Manodvara Vajana and Javana and Kadalamana. Only 3 kinds. Now how many Chetas are there? How many Viti Chetas are there? That is Manodvara Vajana 1, 7 Javana, and 2 Kadalamana, altogether 10. 10 Chetas. So we continue reading on page 157. So the second paragraph, we read in the middle paragraph now. The numbers of Chetas in the longest Manodvara Viti are 1 Manodvara Vajana Cheta, 7 Javana Cheta, and 2 Kadalamana Cheta, totally 10 in all. Now the number of Chetas that can participate in Manodvara Viti are 1 Manodvara Vajana Cheta, you have only 1 Manodvara Vajana Cheta, 29 Kama Javana Cheta, and 11 Kadalamana Cheta. So altogether 41. 41 Cheta can arise in mind law. Now we are going to have a very interesting the presentation. The next topic is secondary Manodvara Viti. Now we read that together. When one of the 6 sense objects enters the avenue of the mind door directly, we get primary Manodwara Viti as described above. So what we have just described are known as primary Manodwara Viti. That is one of the sense objects, they appear directly in the mind door. So we get those sense objects. So usually when we have like visible objects, the sound, the smell, the taste, and the touch, they appear in the mind door. If they are the present object. If they are the past object, then it appears in the mind door. And all those mind objects, remember mind objects, they are very subtle objects. We call Sukuma Rupa, very subtle material entity. The Chetasika, and your thought, your past thought, the thought of your family. So all these appear in the mind door. They appear directly, so you get the Viti as we have described. Now we continue. In a Panchadwara Viti, described above, but there are secondary Manodwara Viti which follow each and every one of the Panchadwara Viti. So that means, whenever you have a Panchadwara Viti, so any Viti, so at the end of that Viti, secondary Manodwara Viti arise. So we read on. In a Panchadwara Viti, the sense impression is processed only to the extent to be known roughly whether it is good or bad. The form, the shape, the detailed features, and the name of the object are not known yet. So, for example, in this Viti, we say the sense object appears here. So, the Panchadwara Vajana apprehends it, and eye consciousness sees it, and takes the impression of that sense object. And that sense object, that impression, is transmitted to Sampadeshana, receiving, Samjirana, investigating, Vattamana, determining, and Javana, enjoying that, and the Dharamana only to enjoying that. So, up to here, though we enjoy the sense, we don't know the sense in detail. We just know whether it's good or bad, only that. We don't know the shape, the form, the features, the detailed features, the name, we don't know. We don't know. So, it is just like to take a photograph and you get the negative. So, when you look at the negative, if it's very sharp, you say, oh, it's going to be a good picture. It is good. But you actually do not know who that person is. You do not know if you are given a negative film that contains somebody. So if you do not know who that body, you do not know. Sometimes it's even difficult to differentiate between male or female because they also put on the pen and the shirt. So you cannot differentiate them. So, to know this, what you have to do? You have to take the positive copies of this. This negative flame, so you run the right, then you get the positive. Now in the positive you can see in detail. In detail the same way. You have to take the positive of the negative. So we read on. Thus after a Panchadwara Viti, a Manodwara Viti quickly follows it, retaking the sense object of the Panchadwara Viti as a past object. So remember, we say the sense object dissolves when the second Dharamana dissolves. So after that, the Bhuvinka feature will run for say about 10 going agitator arise. Now immediately that mind door takes this sense object back. The past sense object can appear in the mind door. So it takes that back, the mind door, and it's going to examine that sense object in detail. So you take it like you take a post-it. Now you can examine detail. Whether not the person, or is a woman, or is a man, or how the feature of the nose, the eyes, and the dimple, or any mark on the face. So you can see in detail the same thing when you take it in the mind door. And just like you are taking the photograph of that in the mind door, you can examine it in detail. So we continue. Now we say the second paragraph of page 158. Thus after a panja dwara vichi, a mano dwara vichi quickly follows it, retaking the sense object of the panja dwara vichi as a past object. That means the sense object appears in the mind door now. Now the next one. Then the second mano dwara vichi follows suit, observing the new image and the old impression together. So the old impression, the one it has taken, is put together, look whether they are identical. Then the next paragraph. Then the third, Mano quickly follows again, observing the form and the shape of the sense object. So one vici can examine only one feature. So try to see the shape or the form of the object. And the next one. Then the fourth Manodwara vici follows, considering the name associated with the object. If necessary, many Manodwara vici quickly occur in succession, considering the features of the object in detail, and also the time and the place with that object if he has encountered it before. Only after these many secondary Manodwara vici does one know the object together with form, shape, name, and other details. So that means after a Panchadwara vici, many Manodwara vici will follow. Many Manodwara vici follow. And remember, not the vici, they arise and dissolve very quickly. How fast can they? Oh, you know, immediately. Actually, you have to process like that. You have to process, just like a computer. So here, same thing as computer. The mind works as the computer. And it is, of course, bigger and it is more delicate than the computer. Now in the computer you have to feed the data, and the data has to be stored in its memory. Now when you ask it, when you say you ask it to multiply, say 4,508 multiplied by 15,564, you just bring in the two numbers and you bring the result. Immediately you get the result. But though you get the result, the computer has to multiply it. If you say multiply for 60,500, so it runs for 60,500 times. So it gives you the result. But when it works very fast, you get the result immediately. And also, now we have, say, 150 students. Now we take the picture, the photograph, the name, and then their address, and their occupation. So all these can be put in the computer. Now you take any one photograph, you ask him, who is this one? So what the computer would do? What the computer would do? It takes this photo and try to match with all those records. One of the so one you can, this is the one. data, much more than a computer in your lifetime. Oh, you have seen every day, you have seen many days, you are hearing many days, you are taking note of them. All of these are stored up there. All of these are stored up. Now when you see this person, now sometimes you forgot. Now when did I see this guy? Now, what is his name? What is his feature? So to try to think. Sometimes they say, when it's out 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So at that time, here are millions of wikis are going on. And finally, you get the data, they are matched up. Oh, I remember. So the mind was like that. So in the last paragraph, you may read, only after these many secondary monotora we teach us one know the object together with found and other decay. Considering the fact that changes can occur at a tremendous rate of more than 1,000 million times per eye-wing, and the monodora Viji contains only about 10 Viji changes, more than a billion Vijis can occur in a fraction of a second. So we can know the object we see or hear almost instantly, and we even think that we see and hear simultaneously. So when you're watching the television, you think you see and hear simultaneously. Is that correct? Will you hear and see at the same time? Will you see and hear at the same time? No, you cannot see and hear at the same time. Now when you say the visible object strikes the eye, so this Viji has to go and followed by monodora Viji, process it, and you know it. Then it takes the sound that appears in the ear. So ear processes, ear, door, cognitive series arrives, followed by again the secondary monodora Viji to know the sound. But since they operate very quickly, even in 1 fraction of a second, all seeing, hearing, smelling, all done. So we see and hear simultaneously. But we can see, when we see, we don't hear. When you hear, you don't see. So these things arise very quickly. And we say, you can verify it. Practical verification. So, all these cognitive series, the triggers that arise in each door, when the sense object strikes this door, you are getting the cognitive series, followed by those secondary monodora Viji. So, you can verify that. So how wonderful. How wonderful. Remember, this process, so wonderful, so detailed. And I was amazed. It was actually 1986. 1986, 20 years ago. 20 years ago. At that time, I was appointed associate professor in the Modern Yang University. So Modern Yang is very close to Park. So I visited the Park Seattle. Didn't see him before. I didn't see him before. And actually, a group of our university teachers, we are going to the seashore town, and we have the seashore. Actually, it's the temple, the shrine in the sea. Before Jacobi. It's in the sea, very serene and sacred there, and very powerful that temple. So they say women should not get up to the higher level of this temple. So they make a special place for them to pay homage. Why? When the relics of the Buddha were below that. So if the women go up, usually we have storm and not the tiding. So they are dead, people are done. So in one space. So actually we are going to that, and I drove by at the house center to see one of my students who has become, and she appeared in the examination, she stood first. So just not to have it saying to her, I drove by. But she was no longer there. So I paid homage to the anciano. So when I told to him about my name, oh, he said, I read your book. It's given to me by Abhidhamma. The book you read, you wrote on the scientific evidences for past existences and future existences. Well, your book is quite interesting, and you may be also interested to know how these meditators meditate. They also knew their past existence. You can interview them. So I said, Sharon, I will come later on. I go to the seaside temple, so we went. So actually I didn't come back. I didn't come back to him. And he seemed to be very ordinary man, with no pout and pomp. So he did very simply. So I was giving Abhidhamma in the Monyan town. So he sent a yogi to ask me to come. So I went this time. So we talked, and I inquired about his teaching, the meditation method. And I was very, very surprised. He was teaching these meditation methods, which are not known in other meditation centers, not known. So I have already meditated in Mahasi at that time. And also I have meditated under a great teacher called Seattle. But all these are different, what he said. So he said, you may interview them, they are characterizing their chaita with the seeker. So as a Abhidhamma teacher, I investigated them. Now, when it says objectify your idol, this seeker arises, how do you do it? What are the changes? These people, they have never learned Abhidhamma, but they said, alright, this changes. In the idol, you get all this changes. You can tell this. And not only that, what change seekers associate in each of those changes? They can tell. They can tell. You have made a combination and you have difficulty to remember those figures. But here, they meditated and they could tell correctly. So that means you can actually see your cognitive series. And when you may say, this cognitive series, as you said, in wonder of billions of witty arises, however you can see, you say. But don't forget, the mind can retain all those witty. When you retain it in your mind, you can examine them in detail, in slow motion. Just like the football match, the world football match. So they play and then they shoot, got into the goal. You could see, how did he get there? So they replay, slow motion. So you can see very slowly. So the ball went in. So very clear, the same thing. You can do that. So you can do that. Very wonderful. So when I study the canon about this meditation, we have to know these cognitive states. And we have to know the chaita, the jaitika that make up each mind. You should know this. Unless you know that, how can you investigate your mind and body in detail? If you're just investigating the external sensation, you never get inside. So what you're doing is just outside meditation, not inside meditation. Well, you think it about yourself. Just like Abhidhamma. So you can see Abhidhamma becomes very important. In meditation, you have to see the ultimate reality. You can see the ultimate reality only if you see these things that arise in you. By billions every day. So all the six and sense objects fight our six sense door. So these things are going on. These are psychological phenomena that arise in the world every day. Depending on that, you're thinking, you're making decisions. And like George Bush sending the American troops into Iraq to get the money. So you do all this with this retreat. The decisions are made by the retreat. You have to know them in detail. So if you know in theory, if you know this, I hope you know that. So when you have the power is that is when you have the concentrated mind eye, the right concentration, very important. If you have the right concentration, you can see into your body, you can see into your heart, and you can see the mind arising depending on heart waves, and you can see the eye method. We call Chakupasada, Sodapasada, you can see them, and you can see the sense object appearing in the eye and in the mind simultaneously, and this reaches arising. Then you can analyze each chapter, each mind, to know their combination. Only when you know the combination, you know what is this theta, what is theta. Otherwise you cannot see. They have different combination, you say. Like Panja Dwara Vajana, it has only 10 mental factors. What are they? Mano Dwara Vajana, they have 11. So, like in the Javana, if you have Mahakusala as Javana, 33, 34 changes arising there. If you don't know them, you are blind to the internal happenings in your body, so you cannot develop up to enlightenment. So remember, Buddhism depends on wisdom. It makes morality as the base. And you have to build up concentration to make the mind very, very powerful. Then you have to develop insight knowledge. And finally, the first wisdom, the highest knowledge. So in our the sharing marriage, we say in accord with the 9 supramande dhamma. So what are the 9 supramande dhamma? It means the 4 first wisdom, and the 4 fruition wisdom, and nibbana. So now what we are studying, what we are listening to the Dhamma, it belongs to meditation, bhavana, practice, noble practice, in accord with those 9 supramandi dhamma. Because if we know this, we can be enlightened with that. So, okay, we finished the first part of there are 2 types of mind-cognitive series. We finished the part when the karma jhana arises. Now we shall go just a few words for the apana jhana. So on page 160, apana jhana manodwara meaning. In tranquility and insight meditation, apana jhana manodwara arise when jhana or metta is realized. In these meetings, one from the 26th Apana Javana Chitta, take part in the Javana function. 26 Javana Chitta what are they? So, I hope you remember the Javana Chitta. We have 5 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chitta and 4 Rupa Vajra Kusala Chitta. So for non-arahat, we can develop these 9 jhana in meditation. And for arahat, they will develop 9 mahagata kriya chitta. 9 kriya chitta would be the 5 rupa vajra kriya chitta and 4 rupa vajra kriya chitta. And then when you get apart wisdom and the crucial wisdom, you will get 8 Lokuttara Chitta there. So, in this Apana Vici, so one of the Apana Javana will be taking part in cognitive process. So, only when we attain the jhana and the metta and the phala, this Vici will arise. But despite we have to wait for 2 days, Saturday, Sunday, tomorrow. And if you have been reading during these 2 days, it will be very nice. But we have taught, so now up to 160 pages. So if you can go back and refresh your memory and come with full memory on the Monday, it will be very nice. It will be very nice. But from our previous experience, after 2 days, you seem to forget. So it will be a hard time for me to try to remind you. So probably when we have the second part, so this is not we can finish only part 1 on this time. We have 2 more, only 3 more videos. So we can have the second part in October. I can come in October if you can arrange it, depends on you, whether it is convenient for you or not. So when you arrange for the second part, I would like to suggest not to skip Saturday and Sunday. So I think you better work continuously. And actually, when I gave the Abhidhamma in Kuala Lumpur, they actually put 4 periods on Saturday and 4 periods on Sunday. So that means they double on Saturday and Sunday, because during this time, you are not going away, you will be here. So it will be the best holiday just to learn Abhidhamma during Saturday and Sunday. If you put like 4 hours in Saturday and Sunday, so you get actually 8 hours. So that will be a lot. But if you want to do, you don't want to do that. You can put just 2 hours, or better, 3 hours on Saturday and Sunday. So if you take 3 hours, after 1 hour, we can take a break. So if somebody can stop tea at that time, it will be nice. So we don't time, and then continue again. So anyway, that's something for you to think it over for our second part. And some of you, I also would like to donate for this book, and also the book I donated to you. That is the photo book. So if anyone would like to distribute, to make the distribution of this book, so please, we can help you. Because I printed this book, actually, about this book 3,000 copies, and that book 2,000 copies. So I cannot donate all. So I need somebody who would like to donate. And remember the gift of the man itself all gift. So it is the most noble like to donate just 10 books, 20 books, so you just give your name, you know. So this book, I think, it takes a little, you know, quite troublesome, 10 years. So I think it will amount to about the 8 Singapore dollars, or 8.5 Singapore dollars each copy. And for the little book, it will cost about 3.5 Singapore dollars. Very cheap, actually. Instead of giving copies,